So I wanted to do a little video this morning about something that's important for off-lead work with your dogs, and it quite often gets missed or overlooked by people. Recall, obviously, majorly important, probably the most important thing to having your dog off-lead. However, there is something else that is important and will help you a lot with having your dog off-lead, and that's check-ins. So when your dog's off-lead, they know they're off-lead, they know they've got that freedom, they're not attached to you, they're obviously aware that they are very much faster than you, etc. So they really, have no incentive to pay attention to what you want or what you're doing once they're off the lead, unless you build it. And the way you do that is you build it with check-ins. So quite often a dog will get, when it's off lead, will get so involved in its environment or the things in its environment that it kind of forgets you there. And that can cause problems when you're trying to get them to recall and all that kind of stuff. So you want to reward check-ins. I'm going to see if I can get some with the girls this morning to show you. Dax and Bella are being silly right now. Girls, enough please. Dax, no, leave Bella alone now. That's enough giddy time. Off you go. Off you go. Off you go. Not pulling crazy face, I know what you're doing. Let's see. Good girl, Dax. Yes, Millie. Good. So what Dax did then was she turned and checked in on where I was of her own accord. I didn't call her or give her a cue or anything like that. She just sort of was like, oh yeah, just getting a bit far ahead. Let me turn around and see where Mum is. As soon as she did that, I rewarded her, told her she was a good girl, and gave her a treat. But you'll also notice that Bella and Millie both came back as well, and because they know they get rewarded for check-ins. Now this encourages your dog to pay, good girl, Dax, to pay attention. Oops, you missed it. You find it. Good girl. Good girl. Well then, off you go. To where you are, even when they're off lead, because you've incentivized it. They know every time they check in and see where you are, they're going to get rewarded. Come on. Stop bouncing on Bella, please, Daxie. Daxie. Come on, let's go. Dax. So it makes them pay attention to you and want to see where you are and what you're doing, even when they're off lead and they have their freedom. She wasn't looking at me then. Good girl, Millie. She was looking at Bella because she's waiting for Bella to get ahead so she can pounce on her without me telling her to stop. Good. Well done. Come on, off we go. Good girl, Millie. Good girl, yes. All right. One at a time. We're only at one hand right now. Good girl. Come on, there we go. Go. Here you go. Good. Go on, off you go. So check-ins, super important. Good girl, Dax. Good girl. Go on, off you go. Go on, Millie. You're such a monkey. Good girl. Good girl. I know you'll go girl. Yes, you want to try and do it every time, really. Millie's just being a monkey now. She's staying right next to me and just keeps looking at me because she thinks she's going to get treats. Good girl, Dax. Yes, good. And what it'll also encourage them to do, to start with, they may just stop and look and you'll say good. And you might have to throw the treat to them, which is fine. But what they will start to do is they'll start to come back to you, as you saw when I did it with these guys. They obviously turned and came back. And I didn't have to call them to come back. They just came. And again, it's just building that behaviour in of those check-ins